In chapter 926, we all saw something interesting which was completely new to me. Kid and Luffy had their hands tied by seastone handcuffs, and they still ran around like it was nothing. Even if it was stated that they are indeed weakened a lot, they still managed to carry more than 500 heavy rocks on their back while running. I always thought that it would somehow take all your energy. Remember Luffy grabbing the seastone poles in the colosseum? Something's not right. You could argue that Luffy got lots stronger in the meanwhile, but I think it's just a plot hole. And it's nothing special after over 900 chapters. But if we stick to the news information we got from this chapter, we have another serious question popping up. Did Shanks have a devil fruit power all along? And another thing I want to talk about, how did Shanks lose his arm to a tiny ass Sea King? By now we all know that Shanks is one of the most powerful characters in the series. He's on a way higher level than Kid and Luffy, which indicates that seastone handcuffs would even have a lesser effect on him, if we assume he has a devil fruit power. Now let's think about episode 1. We see Shanks jumping in the ocean, trying to save Luffy from the Sea King. The Sea King chops off Shanks' arm and Shanks intimidates the Sea King before it swims away. After that, we don't see Shanks moving a bit in the water. He only talks to Luffy. Nothing more and nothing less. And with the new information we got, it could very well mean that he had a devil fruit power back at the time, because a man who's a Yonko today should be able to keep himself above the water with his strength, even if he is covered in ocean water. And the fact we don't see him swimming back or doing any other motion could mean he was weakened because of the effect of the ocean water. I don't think the chopped off arm had weakened him significantly, because we all remember Kuros chopping off his leg and still fighting like a man. Now, what kind of devil fruit power could Shanks possibly have? There are many theories around about this topic, and the most things I've read so far, Shanks has a teleport ability or a time manipulation ability. To be honest, I don't think it's either of them, and here's why. Shanks always appears in the last moment like a hero, and nobody notices him until he reaches point. He and his wise captain were on the battlefield in Marineford before their ship even docked there, and nobody saw Shanks swimming up to Luffy in chapter 1. Which could mean two things. He is incredibly fast or he got teleported. Someone might say right now, hey yo, it's just figure of speech, he is the hero that appears in the last moment. And I agree with that, but it has to be consistent with the lore. So Shanks appearing in Marineford without anyone noticing him, even if there were 100 strong people with observation haki, is a bit ridiculous. That's why people think he can teleport or manipulate time. Time manipulation is way too powerful and unfair. That's why I dumped this idea right away. But the teleportation is something which would make sense in many ways. But I don't think it's Shanks who owns this power, I think it's someone in his crew who can teleport others too. And to be precise, I think it's Lucky Lu, because we saw him kinda teleporting to one of the bandits and giving him a headshot. That doesn't deny the fact that Shanks is incredibly fast, but in Marineford, that was definitely too fast. I don't want to make any assumptions which devil fruit power Shanks could have, because I have no evidence whatsoever. I am only stating that it is indeed possible that he had a devil fruit power all along with the new information given. That's the main point. Let's talk about why Shanks losing his arm makes sense because of the new information given. With the introduction of armament haki, Shanks should have kicked the Sea King's ass without getting any scratch from it. But we got new interesting information from the fight of Luffy versus Katakuri. Katakuri wasn't able to use his future sight with its full potential because he wasn't calm and couldn't focus. A short time before, a few people saw his real face, which bothered him to the amount that he couldn't stay calm. So I assume that it takes a lot of focus and calmness to use any kind of haki. But in which possible scenario could Shanks lose his calmness? Well, maybe in a scenario where a child you really love gets kidnapped because of your actions and a sea monster is about to devour him. That's why he couldn't strengthen his arm. But after he saved Luffy from the first attack and had him in his arm, Shanks was revealed and could use Conqueror's haki to scare the Sea King away. Some might argue, but Oda never wanted Shanks to lose his arm, it was the idea of an editor. And he didn't lose his arm, it was a tribute to the new generation. And I don't deny that in any way, I'm just pointing out that him losing his arm to a Sea King makes sense after all these years. Even if Oda didn't think about it back then, his new concepts make it reasonable from today's point of view. That's it for this video. Maybe you already noticed that I have an inconsistent upload schedule. I always upload the day I have something new to tell. So if you don't want to miss anything, just subscribe. Otherwise, just check out my channel once a week. If you like this video, check out my last one. You can see displayed in the top right corner. And...